What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Alright guys, so we are going to continue with some more classic Marvel, but this time guys, we are going to do some classic Spider-Man. And guys, we are going to sit down and talk about the first appearance of Morbius, the vampire. And I really hope I pronounce his name correctly. But guys, this is the first story where Morbius, the vampire, appeared in Marvel Comics. Now guys, I really do hope you enjoy. Let's go ahead and dive into this story right here. Now guys, the way this story starts off, we pick up with Spider-Man issue number 100, the big 100. Now, we do pick up with Peter Parker being Spider-Man. You know, he's going around New York and doing his nightly patrol looking for some bad guys to beat up. Now, luckily for him, there were some low-grade level crooks who are trying to get away from a police officer. Now, you do have Peter Parker swing down as Spider-Man and help that police officer out by catching those crooks. Now, after he does that, he leaves those folks behind and starts to head home. But while he's heading home, he starts to think about things. And he said, you know what? That was not fun beating up those crooks. You know, I used to have fun being a superhero, you know, helping police officers out, beating up bad guys, and they go to jail. I used to have fun doing those things, but that wasn't fun. That was boring. Matter of fact, I used to love to web sling across New York. But right now, this is also getting boring. Everything I do as Spider-Man is starting to get boring to me. Then he says this right here, maybe I should stop being Spider-Man. Because right now, Gwen Stacy and I, we're back together again. We're a couple again. But the problem is though, she still believes that Spider-Man killed her father, George Stacy. And so he's saying, I can't be Spider-Man and married to her. I want to marry this woman. But the thing is though, if she finds out that I'm Spider-Man, she'll leave me. And I do not want to lose her. I want to marry her one day. And so you have Peter Parker say this right here. He says, maybe it's time for me to stop being Spider-Man, give up the mantle, and basically focus on Gwen Stacy, the woman I love. Now, he does go home to his apartment, to his bedroom, and starts to work on a way to get rid of his powers. Matter of fact, he has been working on this ever since he became Spider-Man. He was working on the cure ever since issue number 1 or Amazing Fantasy number 15. He has always been working on a way to get rid of his spider powers just in case he wants to be normal again. And so here he is right now trying to finish up this random cure to get rid of his spider powers. Now, he does take this cure. He does take it and he goes to sleep. It knocks him out. Now guys, this is where things get kind of weird because he starts to have a crazy dream where right now he's in New York being Spider-Man, swinging around New York, but he hears a voice calling out to him. And he's kind of like, who's that voice calling out to me? That voice sounds very familiar. I need to find this person calling out to me. And so you have Peter Parker being Spider-Man swinging through New York to find this voice that he's hearing inside his dream right now. Now, as he heads towards this voice, he starts to fight against random supervillains. The Vulture, Lizard, Doc Ock, the Green Goblin. He starts to fight all these different supervillains who are kind of like, listen man, we came here to kill you. We came here to defeat you. But right now, you have Peter Parker saying, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to fight the Vulture, to fight you Lizard, to fight you Green Goblin or Doc Ock. I have to get to that voice that's calling out to me. Now, while he fights these super villains, they all say the same thing. Dude, you're crazy. There's no voice calling your name right now. You are hearing things. But Peter Parker still hears a voice in this dream calling out to him. Now, he does defeat every single one of these super villains to get to this voice. And when he gets there, he sees some kind of big head figure of George Stacy, the father of Gwen Stacy. Now, you just have George Stacy talking to Peter Parker about how great he is, how great of a hero he is, saying like, listen man, you took up the mantle of Spider-Man. You got powers and you use those powers to help other people. And I admire that. It's basically just George Stacy talking to Peter Parker in this dream, saying how great he is, how great of a superhero he is, and he should not give up these powers to be normal again. He should keep these powers and continue to be a superhero. Now, when Peter Parker wakes up though from his dream, he has now gained 4 extra arms. He has now become a 6-arm Spider-Man person. He has 3 arms on one side and another 3 on the other side. But that cure he was working on to get rid of his spider powers did not work. Instead, it basically evolved him into the next step of being a spider, now having 6 arms, 3 on each side. Now guys, we do pick up with Spider-Man issue number 101. Now, with this book right here, we pick up with Peter Parker still freaking out because he now has 6 arms. That cure he made was supposed to get rid of his superpowers, his spider powers, but instead it made him more like a spider. And so right now you have Peter Parker freaking out because he's saying, what can I do? I can't go anywhere like this. I can't go out in public as a man with 6 arms. I can't go to Gwen Stacy because she'll find out that I am Spider-Man. And she still blames Spider-Man for the death of her father. I can't go home to Aunt May because again, I look like a freak. What in the world can I do? Now, luckily for Peter Parker, he realized, wait a second, I do have one friend I can call, and that is Kurt Connors. And so he calls up Kurt Connors and he says, hey, listen, Kurt, do you have a place that's outside of New York that I can use to fix my problem right now? And you have Kurt saying, matter of fact, I do. I have a vacation house out in Florida that you can use to fix your problem, because in that house I also have a lab. And so you have Peter Parker saying, thank you, I'm going to use that house to fix my problem. And so Peter Parker web slings and then rides a train to get all the way to Florida to use the house that Kurt Connors used as vacation in Florida. Now, we do jump over in the middle of the ocean on a boat, because on this boat you have all the crew members coming together and talking to each other because their captain just died. Someone killed their captain, and they're all saying the person who killed our captain is the man we let on our boat, who's right now at the bottom of our boat taking a nap. Our random guest killed our captain. And so you have these crew members go down to the cabin to kill their guest, who they believe that killed their captain. And guys, this is our first appearance of Morbius. But right now, Morbius is not in his vampire form. Right now, he is in his regular form, because again, he is a vampire and he only comes out in what? In the night. And so he's kind of like, listen guys, don't bother me. I didn't mean to do that. It's my other half. It's my vampire side. I can't control it because I have a hunger. But these crew folks are kind of like, dude, you killed our captain. And you want us to be like, oh, okay, you're right. We're sorry, man. We understand. You're a vampire. It's okay. And so they're kind of like, no, we are going to kill you. You killed our captain. And so you have all of these men start to attack Morbius. They start to attack him. Now, he's kind of like, okay, I have to leave. I have to get out of here. And so he starts to run all over the ship until he was able to hide somewhere until nighttime. Because again, at night, he becomes a full vampire with all those extra powers. And so when nighttime hit, he came out as Morbius. And he starts to attack every single crew member, killing them off one by one to also help with his hunger. Now, after he does that, he's kind of like, you know what? I need to hit dry lands and find somewhere I can stay until it's nighttime again. And the thing is, guys, he flies across the ocean until he finds the house that Spider-Man is using right now to find a way to cure his problem. And so he's kind of like, okay, this big house, it looks empty. Maybe I can use this house to stay here until it's nighttime. And so you have Morbius go hide in the attic. And so right now in this house, you have Morbius in the attic sleeping, and you have Spider-Man downstairs working on a way to fix his new problems of having 6 arms. Now, Morbius does wake up the following night and he finds Spider-Man. And he's kind of like, who in the world is this man with 6 arms? That outfit looks familiar. You know what? I don't care. I'm still hungry for plasma. I need to feed my hunger. And so you have Morbius start to attack Spider-Man. Now, guys, they do go back and forth for a couple pages until Morbius was able to knock out Spider-Man. He's kind of like, okay, you know what? I did my job. It's now time for me to go ahead and feast on this spider person. But right when he's about to do that, Kirk Connors walks in. And with Kirk Connor walking in, seeing Morbius and seeing Spider-Man knocked out, he turns into the Lizard. Now, guys, when it comes to Spider-Man issue number 102, this is the book that's going to wrap everything up. Now, you do have the Lizard and Morbius start to fight each other. They do go back and forth. Now, you do have Peter Parker wake up after being knocked out by Morbius and realize, oh crap, the Lizard is here now. The Lizard is fighting Morbius, and these two people are fighting over me. They're trying to decide who is going to kill me off. And so you have these two characters go back and forth. Now, Morbius is a tad bit stronger than the Lizard. And so you do have Morbius defeat the Lizard. And Morbius is kind of like, okay, you know what? I defeated the Lizard, but I need to feed my hunger. I need to feed on somebody. And so you see Morbius start to bite on the Lizard. Now, luckily for the Lizard, Spider-Man came through. He's like, you know what? I feel better now. I can jump back into the fight. I have to save Kirk Connors before he dies by the hand of this random vampire character. And so you have Spider-Man tackle Morbius. Now, Morbius does get away. Now, you do have Spider-Man walk back over to the Lizard to make sure the Lizard is okay, because the Lizard just got bitten by Morbius. Now, guys, right here at this moment is really important, because as you have Spider-Man walk over to the Lizard starts to talk to Spider-Man, but not as the Lizard, but as Kirk Connors. Kirk Connors is now in control in the Lizard body. He's kind of like, I don't know what happened, but when Morbius bit me, it did somehow let me be controlled of the lizard body. The lizard right now is not in control. I am in control. So I can use the powers of the lizard to help you, Spider-Man, to catch that bad guy, to catch him. Because you have Kirk Connors realize something, that something inside Morbius' body was able to slowly cure the lizard. And so you have Kirk Connors saying, you know what? We need to catch Morbius. We need to catch him, because if we catch him, we'll be able to get a cure out of his body. Something about him has something we need inside of him to cure both me and you, to get rid of your arms. Because look what he did. As soon as he bit me, I went halfway back into my human form, but he wasn't able to get a complete bite into me. And so if we're able to get whatever inside his body, I will be turned back into the regular human form, Kirk Connors. But also, we can fix your 6-arm problem, but we have to go catch Morbius. Now guys, when it comes to issue number 102, it does jump back in time, just a couple weeks, but we pick up with Morbius before he became Morbius, when he was just a man known as Michael, a Nobel Prize winner. Now guys, when it comes to Michael, he was working on an experiment with his counterpart. They were working on something big. The thing is, he was looking for a cure because he had some kind of rare disease that was killing him off very slowly, but he knew he was going to die soon. And so him and his partner start to work on an experiment that involved bats. And he was kind of like, if we use these bats, we will be able to find a way to cure me, to save my life. Because right now, this rare disease that I have is going to kill me very soon. And I just want to live with my beautiful woman. I can't die right now. And so you have his partner and his girlfriend get on a boat, put their laboratory at the bottom of the boat, and continue to work on their experiment in the middle of the ocean. The thing is though, the experiment of course fell apart. It did kind of work. It did get rid of his rare disease, but it turned Michael, this Nobel Prize winner, into the man we know him as Morbius, the vampire now. And so thanks to him working on this experiment with bats, it turned him into a vampire. Yes, that rare disease is now long gone, but now he has a new kind of disease, a disease of being a vampire. And so that is where we pick up. Well, that is where it leads us back into issue number 101, where he was being attacked by those crew members on that boat. Now, after 102 does that little backtrack of giving us the origin of Morbius, we now jump back to the current time of issue number 102 with Spider-Man and the Lizard looking for Morbius because he holds the cure inside his body. Now, luckily for the Lizard and Spider-Man, they were able to find Morbius and they start to fight against Morbius to get whatever is inside his body to help them cure their two problems, the Lizard problem and the 6-arm problem. And luckily for Spider-Man, luckily for him and the Lizard, they were able to catch Morbius and just get enough to cure each other, to cure the Lizard, to cure Spider-Man's 6-arm problems. And so you have Spider-Man go back to having just 2 legs and 2 arms. You have Kirk Connors go back into his human form. But thanks to the Morbius serum, they were able to fix their problem. The thing is though, Morbius got away. After they fought him and got that little cure out of his body, he was able to escape. And so Spider-Man now realized there is a vampire out there who got away, and he might see that vampire again in the near future. He now has to be prepared to fight that vampire creature in the near future to bring him down. But guys, this is the ending of issue number 102. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here, and I will see y'all in the next comic book video. Have a good day, guys. Later.